Okay, episode number 2 for Offroad Animals build on our Prado 250 Landcruiser. Last episode, you saw us developing the product for the vehicle. Now you actually get to see us put it on. But first up, suspension. Now, we plan on keeping this vehicle for quite a while because it's actually a pretty cool rig. So we've opted for some probably expensive but really nice suspension. So from Mike's Shock Shop in Queensland, we've got some King's Off-Road Racing shocks. So these shocks are magnificent. They are, like a lot of racers in the US use them, but here in Australia as well, they are just quality above all. Now, they came from Queensland, so the USA sent them to Queensland, and Mike's Shop basically set it up exactly the way we wanted it. So it comes with springs in the front already, set up for a 2-inch lift, but the shocks are adjustable for height, so you can go higher if you want. So we got a 2-inch lift organized for that, 4 shocks and 2 sway bar, the rear sway bar links. So we needed some rear springs, so we went to our local Pettis, who does a lot of work for us, and they had some rear springs. So off to Pettis to see the suspension get put in. This is gonna ride magnificent. As you can see, the Kings are in now. On this external reservoir here, which is great for getting more oil capacity, you got your knob here that you can adjust the compression on these. So really easy to get to. These are 2.5-inch bore racing shocks. So these are awesome. This Prado is gonna ride sick. Okay, with the suspension in, it is riding sweet. Next up, roof rack. So we've got 2 different roof racks for the Prado 250 because there's 2 different sunroof setups. There's that panoramic one, which actually goes above the standard roof. So we actually need a different roof rack that sits up higher, but we didn't just want to have that high roof rack for all the models, considering not everyone has that panoramic sunroof. So what we've done is have a lower version that suits everyone who doesn't have that panoramic sunroof. So this vehicle being in altitude, you'll see that we're put on the lower version. But you'll see we also own a Kakadu, so you'll see what it looks like to have the taller one as well. And so we're gonna put the roof rack on, so it sits just behind the sunroof, and then we're also gonna do some testing on it to make sure, 1, that it's gonna be strong enough, and 2, that it's not gonna be too loud. So next up, roof rack. So Chris is putting the single row on. You can put a double row on, or you can put lots of smaller lights on that allow you to get even more light. We like the streamlined look of that slim LED on there. So it's only barely taller than the rack, so you can still run long stuff on the rack and not worry about it. As you can see, this one is behind the sunroof. As stated in the first video, the reason we did it is the front mounting point is here. So if your rack comes all the way up here in front of it, you got a huge leverage point on it. You could drill a hole in it, but who wants to drill a hole if you don't have to? Up next is my favorite part of the build, is the bull bar. You saw in the last episode that we developed the bull bar and you saw us doing the design and CAD images and whatnot. Well, now we've actually made the prototypes and they're ready to go on the vehicle. So our Altitude is gonna get the Toro bar, and our Kakadu is gonna get the Predator bar. Now, the bull bars, be it the Toro or the Predator bar, fantastic place to put some accessories for any rig that's going off-road. So we're gonna be putting a winch in. So you'll see us initially putting a Warren Xeon winch in, but that's just a placeholder. That winch is actually pretty cool. It's got no internals in it, so it's nice and lightweight to put it in. The reason we're doing that is because we have to take the bull bar off because we're gonna get the car wrapped. But then when we put the bar on and leave it on, we are actually going to put a Runva Expedition winch on. So they're 11XP Expedition winch. It's a new winch, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it. It comes with a lot of cool gear. You should check them out. So we're also putting a GME UHF in, so the antenna will be going on the bull bar as well as some off-road animal lights. So bull bars are great for animal protection, especially a Predator bar if you want to go off-road. Great for taking a winch, antenna, lights, that sort of stuff. And the Toro bar, if you're heading more country roads and you need more protection from animals, both are great for going off-road. But yeah, look, if you need more animal protection, go for the Toro bar. But here at Offroad Animal, we offer you both. Anyway, enough about talking about it. Let's get it on. Okay, time to put the bar on. We're gonna cheat a little bit. We got a hydraulic lifting trolley, which makes it nice and easy to put on. Extra easy with the Offroad Animal bars because we have a flat bottom. So we just place it on or push it on. You don't need a hydraulic lifting trolley to put it on. Just 2 people can put it on. You can lift it up. You can even put it up off its jack if you wanted to by yourself, which I have done. But we're gonna cheat and just push it on like this. like a glove. Beautiful. We'll put it in the exact right position. So you want about a 20 mil gap around all the body work. So, because your body and your chassis are separated by rubbers, like your body mounts. So when you're going over rough terrain, you get this action. So you gotta have about a 20 mil gap between the body and the bar so you don't actually get any contact with the headlights or the body and damage it. So make sure you put that gap there. 100% necessary, you need it. Some people complain online, oh, I don't like the gap. Sorry, mate, you need it, so put it there. So to fit 35s on the left-hand side of the car, there's this little cover plate here that protecting the wiring loom for the disconnects for the sway bar. So basically the tire will hit there, but there's enough length on it. So we're just gonna take the bolts off, wrap it under the chassis where it's actually probably more protected, and then put the cover plate back on and then allow the tire to not rub. Okay, we got the Toro bar on. Looks magnificent. We've also opted to run the Offroad Animal 9-inch LED ass kicker driving lights, which are fantastic. They got these side shooters on it, which really light up the sides of the track, which I love. So you've got the 9-inch, 2 paired 9-inch driving lights, the 32-inch LED in the bar, as well as a 42 on the roof. So watch out, Ruse. It's gonna be daytime. It's gonna be magnificent. So we've also got the GME antenna. So we include 2 brackets that bolt onto the back of the uprights. So we're gonna run the GME antenna, GME radio we're putting in. But yeah, look, factory fog lights. This bar is amazing. Like, check out the clearance you have for approach angle near the tires. It goes under the flares here. So not in front like other competitors do, which I think looks a bit strange, but actually underneath the flare, so it finishes off really nice in here. You got your high lift jack points here, your sensors all go in it. We've relocated the radar in there. Included as standard is everything you need to run a winch. So the number plate flip here, the winch cradle, you don't need anything else. Like no optional extras you need except for lights in this. So it comes without lights, but your factory fog lights fit in here. So the only options you really need are lights. So it's a fantastic bar for getting everything you need right away. Bash plate is included. So we do have more bash plates quite completely underneath the car coming soon. Recovery points, which we're rating shortly, are included as standard. So everything you need to protect your Prado right here looks magnificent. I'm now gonna put it next to the Predator bar on our white Kakadu so you can see the two together and what they look like. But mate, I reckon this has really cleaned it up, makes it look like the Prado's already a nice looking vehicle, but when you put this bar on, looks fantastic. That aggressive, modern look on the front of it, nice and high, like you're ready to hit the tracks. Okay, here you go. Toro Predator on the Prado 250 or Landcruiser 250 if you're in the States. I think it looks fantastic. If you're heading a lot of country roads and you're gonna see a lot of animal life, really should be picking the Toro. If you're living in town and you just go off-road on a few adventures, you know, 5, 6, 7 adventures a year, Predator should be a nice pick for you because it's a little bit lighter. Now we have a lot of different hoop options for the Predator bar. So we're currently running the Stealth hoop, which runs a 22-inch light up inside. So you got a combination of the 32 in the bar and the 22 up top. Now you can just run no hoop and just run round lights on there, or no lights at all, or you can run our rally hoops, and we got those for the Steady Type X Pro, as well as the Offroad Animal 9-inch ass kickers. They do look really good with the Predator bar, with the rally hoop, or no hoops. But me personally, favorite, Stealth hoop, gives it that classic Offroad Animal look on it. So we're gonna run that on the Kakadu while we're just gonna run the 9-inch ass kickers on the Toro here. But yeah, good look at both of them. I hope you enjoy. They're both being available soon. So now that we got some 35s on the vehicle, so those are 35 Nidos, and they are on some beadlock wheels. So there's a plus 30 offset for them. They do stick out a little bit from the flares, and we don't want the cops to pick us up because we got a bit of poke, even though poke does look cool. So we've opted to cover them up with some aftermarket flares. So we found some flares, and luckily they came in time from J-Max up in Queensland. And yeah, we're gonna put those on, so cover those tires and keep us close to legal. Actually, I think we are pretty much legal on this whole build, so yeah, legal. Here's the wrap. I'll get you a better view in a sec. Even the bonnet looks good, but it's like, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's like a brushed stainless look. Yes. When you're going camping and you want to bring a lot of gear in the back of your rig, you really need to tie it down so it doesn't just go flopping around everywhere, especially a fridge and batteries and stuff like that. So the altitude kind of sucks in the back. There's a couple little tie down points, but it's not sufficient for mounting a fridge or anything like that. So we've opted to make our own false floor to put in so we can mount the fridge, the battery, and even tie downs anywhere we want to mount all our camping gear. So false floor going in. All right, in the back here, we've taken everything out so that we can do some wiring here. So compressors going here and running cable for the battery. I've got Chris from Mayday Tow Bars doing the wiring for me because I hate doing wiring. But we're also gonna leave a lot of it out for the false floor. But this is what the back of your Prado looks like. So this is your battery and your converter or transformer here for your 48 volt. Interesting. This is what that big hump is in the back of your car. That metal frame there that basically protects all this. So that leaves it up, and you got a little air conditioning unit over here that plums air to keep all that cool. Okay, we're just about ready to put the false floor in. So we've decided to design a false floor that is lightweight because you know these cars have a really bad GVM, so they get overloaded quick. So what I've done is I've designed an aluminium bracket here and one in the front with these little cage nuts in it. That's what you can hear rattling. These cage nuts here will zip down the actual floor itself, which is plywood. At the moment, 17 mil, might go a little bit less. But this bracket here, or sorry, this sort of platform here that protects the batteries, Toyota's gone to a lot of effort to make it actually pretty strong. So I'm gonna keep it in there and actually bolt my floor to it because it's got some tie down points. So as a system, it'd be pretty strong. And a little tray over there for a compressor, so you can have a compressor there because I couldn't really find anywhere good under the bonnet to put it. So ready to go. You can see there's a lot of space above the batteries for airflow. So this one here, I can't remember exact, but I'll put it up on screen how much it weighs. But I looked around on false floors. Now, I wasn't actually gonna do a false floor, but I got a trip to the Simpson Desert coming up in 2 weeks, and I need somewhere to mount the fridge and the battery and the compressor. So I was just gonna buy one from somebody else, but I couldn't actually find one from someone who could do it in time. So stuff it, I'll make it myself. So going pretty quick. Yeah, but it's about 10 kilos lighter than what's out there. So 10 kilos is quite a bit. So if you include how lightweight our roof rack on our bull bar is, plus this, you can save a lot of weight with Offroad Animal accessories than going for the opposition. Cool, looks like it fits. Got my holes in there. So I've got a little cover plate there so you can basically keep your jack tools and any other tools you want underneath there, and a little cover plate. But yeah, this false floor looks pretty good. Okay, the false floor is in, and I'm a little impressed with myself. It actually turned out a lot better than I was expecting for someone who doesn't normally make this sort of stuff. I'm very happy. So yeah, we'll find someone who can do the carpeting for us because we don't want to do it in-house. And yeah, it could be a sellable item. So nice flat false floor here. This little panel here, you got these little hand knobs here. You just untwist those and that panel comes out so you can put tools behind there. So like the bits and pieces for your jack. I've got a little compressor mount here. So it's a little tray that mounts the compressor and actually takes the hose as well. So keeps it sort of out of the way. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Solid as. So this is a great base now to mount the fridge and the battery, tie down points, you name it. So yeah, I think if you have a Prado, especially one of the 5-seater ones, and you plan on taking it camping, must is getting a false floor. So very happy with this bad boy here, super strong. Okay, now that the false floor is in, compressor's in, it's all wired up, it's time to try a bit more storage. So I've got a parcel shelf that I put up top here for small soft items like your pillows, sleeping bags, that sort of stuff. I got it from Pirate Camp Co. So never fit one of those things before. Didn't really feel like designing one, and I got a short amount of time, so yeah, let's put it in, see how it goes. Well, the Pirate Camp Co. parcel shelf is in. Like I say, it was really easy to put in. pull it down. So sleeping bag, pillow, whatever. It's pretty easy. Put it up, and then you got these little locking tabs in it so you can lock it out if you're going over rough roads. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Not the cheapest bit of gear, but works well. Okay, the false floor is in and it's looking great. Now we've got some tie down points on the false floor here. So this is a bit of extrusion, these tie down rails that we produce at Offroad Animal, and it allows you to put any M8 hardware you want in it. So we just have some M8 eye bolts. Now we supply them, or you can just get them from Bunnings or a hardware store. But we've got this in here so we can basically tie down anything. So when you go on off-road, it's not gonna jump around, rattle a lot, or basically crash and bash around because we're not running a cargo barrier. So we've got the Evercool 40-liter drawer fridge in, fantastic because you don't need a drawer slide, so nice and lightweight. Battery in there from Core 4x4. So I got a spot behind the fridge for the toolbox, my box of food and camping gear, so plenty of room in here. So yeah, very happy with how this false floor has turned out. Has allowed mounting gear, especially the compressor for camping, and turn this car into a bit of an overlander or a touring vehicle a lot more capable than it would otherwise be. So even if you have a 7-seater version, which this bit is like all the way up here, which is ridiculous, you'd save heaps using this. Like this is still about an inch shorter than what the Altitude had, but it's considerably shorter than what the Kakadu has or the other 7-seat version. So highly recommend this if you're going camping. So that's the back setup here. Just basically gotta check my gear in it now. Okay, we're gonna be putting an awning on this rig. No need to tell you why awnings are good. Everyone knows why they're good. Offroad Animal has developed some quick awning connects. So this is going to go onto the roof rack, and then we're gonna have a 180 awning on there. So these awning brackets should factor for the heavier duty awnings. So we'll be able to put it on and off nice and quick. Let's get it on. So I've got another prototype on the car. I've got these quick connect awning brackets. So you don't want to drive around with a big heavy, 24, 25 kilo awning, your 270 or 180 all day long. It's just a waste of fuel and you don't need it sitting out in the sun all that time. So these quick awning brackets here are designed for the heavier awnings. So I've got 3 of them up there. So this is a 180 awning here. So all going to plan, it should just work pretty good. Just lifting it up and dropping it on. So when you're going off-road, you can just put it on in minutes, basically, without tools. So what's the top, what's the bottom? See if we can do this ourselves. All right, so the awning's on, and then we got these little pins here. They basically keep it on. So we jump up top and we can push them in and away we go. All right, I'll put those 3 pins in and that's it. That's how quick and easy it is to put your awning on. So I'll be listing those on the website soon. That's the Offroad Animal awning quick connect brackets. Okay, time for water storage. As we're heading out to the Simpson and it's gonna be, high 30s, low 40s every day, we need lots of water. What we have planned for this is, the producer said we need 80 liters of water per vehicle or per person. So we've opted to go from Pak, a rack tank, which is a 50-liter one on the roof rack. And then we're gonna go a footwell tank behind the driver in the passenger seat, which is another 40 liters. So 50 on top, 40 in the car, so 90 liters all up. So that should be more than enough to do the cooking, the drinking, maybe a little bit of bathing in it. Pak makes some pretty cool gear. Check them out. Now let's get them on. This is great for going right on the roof rack, and Pak makes a mounting kit specifically for Offroad Animal roof rack. So great. So that's going to go on top. I'll probably put it opposite side of the awning so I can balance the weight. And yeah, put that in. So more than enough water. So super easy. I mean, the footwell tank, you just drop in, and the rack tank, I'm going to lift up there and basically secure down with some bolts. So I'll get that up. Well, it looks like on the Prado, the footwell, like in the middle, is a little bit high, so the tank kind of rotates a little bit. But that's all right, I'll put something underneath there so it sits flat. Okay, next for spare fuel. Even though we're gonna hopefully get a long-range fuel tank put in, I gotta carry fuel for some of the other cars. So Offroad Animal jerry can holder, we got 2 different types. This one keeps them flat and low, better for roof racks. So I'll be putting this one up on the roof rack as well. Yeah, 2 2 Jerry's going up there. Just secure that down. Okay, one of the last items we've got on the Prado 250 is the Offroad Animal rock sliders. A tough steel rock slider that bolts over the chassis, not the body, so it's going to protect your vehicle when you're going off-road. It even acts as a step. It's got a cool tread pattern on top, which is a pierce and burst that we use on a turret punch that allows you to have some traction on top. So even with wet boots, you're not gonna slip off. And it's nice enough that it doesn't hurt your bare feet. So these solid rock sliders here protect the side of your expensive vehicle, as well as act as a good step for using the roof rack. So a lot better than those factory plastic steps that just fold up if you're gonna hit anything. These will actually protect the side of the vehicle. We're gonna put the other side on. I'll show you what the rock slider looks like, not actually on the vehicle, and how strong they are being fully welded in steel. Last 2 items going on, we have a window accessory panel so we can mount some gear outside the car, make it easy to get to whenever we want, as well as some bash plates because the Prado is very low and it's very vulnerable underneath there. So the Offroad Animal, we've got 3 big bash plates that continue on from the factory one that comes with the bull bar. So cover back under your sump, your gearbox, your transfer case, and your AdBlue tank. You need to protect all those. So yeah, last ones to go on. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get it on. Okay, here's our Molly accessory panel. So this mounts off the Offroad Animal roof rack. So that's what's actually supporting it. Then we have some super heavy duty suction cups that actually protect the window. That just basically prevents the panel from contacting the car or the window and damage it. So no, the suction cups aren't holding it there. Yes, they're holding it in place, but the load's taken by the roof rack. So this is an aluminum panel here, and you can strap whatever you want to it. So I've got a water bag here. So this is for drinking water, 7.5 liters, as well as this case here. You can even put like a Rotopax or something on there. So cool thing about this case, all right, my first aid kit's super accessible. So if I ever need it in a hurry, it's ready to go. But you can put tools in there, recovery gear, whatever you want. Also a cool place up top where you can, some holes up there, you can mount other accessories. In this case, we've got the axe up there. So we have ones for the left and the right hand side. Me personally, I like just one to run on the right, but you can run both. But this is the accessory panel. And one last cool thing, a little bottle open here. So if you're having a beverage and you need to open your beer, right there. All right, last but not least, the bash plates. Let's get onto them. Okay, we've got a 3-piece bash plate system that works in conjunction with the front bash plate that comes standard on the Offroad Animal bar. Now, the other bash plates do fit with the factory bumper or the bull bars, so they mount front cross member all the way back to just in front of the fuel tanks. So you got a system protecting your sump, your gearbox, transfer case, your AdBlue tank, all that's protected. 5mm aluminum going all the way back. So this one here is a first prototype, bent the shit out of it, taking it off-road, product testing, and we've beefed it up and got stronger brackets behind it, strengthened it up. So pretty cool system, keeps it nice and flat, doesn't add any extra or lower your clearance on your vehicle, except for 5mm. So 5mm high tensile aluminum with steel brackets in some of the places to really support it. Super easy to fit at home. Better if you have a hoist, but you can't fit it at home. We don't have a hoist and we fit it here. Great if you got some vehicle stands you can drive it on. And that pretty much rounds out the build. So I'll show you the bash plates here, and then the whole finished car is ready for a trip. I can't wait. Okay, the build is done. Well, is the build ever really done? I mean, there's a few things we want to keep going with this in the future that's not ready for this episode. One, we'll be developing a rear protection bar and a spare tire carrier, because where the factory spare tire sits, it's great and all there, but when you put a 34 or 35 inch tire there with, you know, between 300 and 350 mil thick, it ends up sitting down really low and just reduces your departure angle, rubs the tire. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. So I really want to get a spare tire carrier on there. So we'll be making our own. We also need a snorkel. Not a fan of the round pipes tube stainless snorkels, so waiting for a good plastic one. And if one doesn't come out that we're happy with, we can do our own. But yeah, look, I'm probably gonna stick with Safari or something like that. However, the vehicle is ready for a trip. So we're gonna be doing a Simpson Desert run in March 2025. So it's gonna be pretty hot out there, but the Prado's got, you know, the cooled seats and a nice aircon. So I'm looking forward to sitting in the nice environment of this one, because some of the other boys on the trip are gonna have some older cars and who knows if the aircon even works. So a lot of gear we put on this car. So we've got the Offroad Animal Toro bar, the winch, the lights, we've got flares on here, got the roof rack, we got the rock sliders, we got the bash plates, the false floor in there, a whole bit of kit, not to mention all the camping gear we have in there as well to make it a truly awesome overlanding rig, touring rig to go around Australia. So really happy with how this product turned out. Really looking forward to see how it handles out in the desert and in some more off-road tracks. So stay tuned. Coming up is probably gonna be the third episode of this one where we do development on the rear bar, but looking forward to seeing you. If you wanna see this one in action, full drive 24/7, probably coming out in June, July of 2025. So thanks for watching. See ya.